Okay, hey again everybody. All right, let's get started in our week one material. So here I am on the home page. I'm going to go to the modules and I'm going to go ahead and open up here the week one class notes and assignments. Okay, and this is where my video that I'm making right now is going to go. But here's the bottom line. All right, so I just want to give you a quick overview of the type of material you're going to be reviewing and or learning in this first week. So, and again, the first homework 1, goes from section 1, 1, 1, 2, and 1, 3 in our book. Chapter 1 is really pre-calculus info that's important to review. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the sections real quick of each one and just quickly say to you and give you the big picture. So in section 1, we're talking about functions and their graphs, understanding domain and range, vertical line tests for functions, understanding what a piecewise defined function is, understanding increasing and decreasing, even and odd functions, and just certain graphs that you should quickly know what they look like in your head. Really important to understand that when we're talking about calculus stuff later. Some trig functions, the sine and cosine, of course. Okay. Then in section 1, 2, we want to talk about combining functions. How do we shift and scale graphs? If we add functions to subtract functions or multiply or divide functions, what happens, what they look like, and then composite functions, right? So this f of g of x, right? This fog here, f-o, the little tiny o here, f of g of x, what that means, how we use it, etc. Okay, and then in section 1, 3, we quickly review all the trig functions, the 6 trig functions. Sure, there's sine and cosine, which are most comfortable. We have tangent, and then we have secant, cosecant, and cotangent. Okay, so again, just real quick review of the trig that you need for what we're going to be doing in calculus. Okay, so that's the deal for the week 1 material. It's mostly review on this first homework. All review. It should be, but a lot of it will be jogging your memory too, I'm sure. Okay, so then back into week 1 here. What happened? Okay, so then the second homework. Now this first homework is due Wednesday. I've given you an extra day. Typically homework's going to be due Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. This first homework is due Wednesday just to make sure you get registered, get your feet going, get into a good routine with taking the notes, watching the videos, working on the homework, etc. Okay, then when you get to the second set of homework, second set of notes, and by the way, the notes that I want you to fill in by hand, which I've explained to you already before, those are required, those are due at the same time. So the first set of notes, this section 1, 1, 1, 2, and 1, 3 notes in your own handwriting that you've taken pictures of and emailed me is also due Wednesday night at midnight. Okay, so you got to get those to me on time as well. Sections 2, 1, and 2, 2 are the next set for the second set of homeworks, the second homework. Okay, and again, what are we talking about? In this section, we're talking about rates of change and tangent lines to curves. Okay, so we use the average rate of change here. So notice this basically is the slope of the line, right? Change in y over change in x. We can use different notation and call it f of x1 plus h, where h is a little bit of a distance from x1, right? So it's the same idea. This is the same formula. Okay, now walk you through that. There's a lot of calculus here that we're getting to. This gives us the slope of a secant line, and how do we find the tangent slope when we do that? And then in section 2.2, we get into this concept of a limit. What is a limit? So one of the most frustrating things for a student early on is understanding limits and being able to evaluate limits in calculus. So we are into calculus. Homework 2, we're into calculus. We're getting in there quick. I'm expecting that you understand the pre-calculus stuff that's going on. So section 2.2 is all about limits of different functions. And then that's the homework that's due Thursday. The homework that is due Saturday night at midnight would be this section 2.3. Let me open it real quick. And in section 2.3, we're talking about what's called the precise definition of the limit. This is, for many of you, this will be the first time you've seen something abstract in mathematics. It's called an epsilon delta argument. This is the definition. So I don't want to go into any of that. I got videos on it. I walk you through homeworks, etc. But the bottom line is it's the first time most of you will have seen some kind of abstract argument / definition like this. And so my whole point of this section is to get you to understand that abstractness and understand the language of higher math like calculus. Okay, so have a great week, and I'm hoping I'm going to see you guys a lot.